So the purpose of a CSI surface abrader is to determine the abrasion resistance among conditioned and wet fabrics. So to begin, you're going to want to go over to the air compressor and make sure that it's on. Then using this dial, you're going to want to make sure that the air pressure is between 4 and 6. Then you're going to go over to the CSI surface abrader and power it on. The next thing you're going to do is grab your piece of sandpaper. This is going to be the abrader in your experiment. So you want to make sure that you know that there is a hole punch within the sandpaper. This is for the sensor to go through. Then you're going to take your sandpaper and secure it onto the top plate using these clamps and dials. Then you're going to take your finger and make sure that the sensor is lined up with the hole punch. Once your sandpaper is securely on, you're then going to take the rubber diaphragm and place it on the bottom plate. Then you're going to take your specimen. You're going to create 3 of these specimens, and each of them are going to have a 4 3/8 inch diameter. There's also a template in the lab that you can use. Then you're going to place your specimen on top of the rubber diaphragm, and using the head of the surface abrader and the pin, you're going to secure it in. So you're going to place the pin within one of the holes on the bottom in order to secure it. And continue to turn it until it is fastened onto there. Once that's fastened on there, you're going to want to make sure that the air pressure is between 4 and 6 on the surface abrader. In order to do that, you're going to use this knob right here and turn it while looking at the dial right here to make sure that your air pressure is between 4 and 6. Once it's between 4 and 6, you're going to lock it in. Next, you're going to want to make sure that your rubber diaphragm is inflated. Once it's inflated, you're going to take your top plate and gently press it down. And take your 1 pound weight and put it on the top. Once this is complete, you're going to press start. Once there is a hole on the surface of your fabric, the CSI surface abrader will automatically stop. If it doesn't, that will depend on the weight of your fabric in terms of the number of cycles that it would need to go through. So lighter weight fabrics, you're going to go for 1,000 cycles. Middleweight fabrics, you're going to go for 3,000 cycles, and heavyweight fabrics are going to go for 5,000 cycles. In order to determine the number of cycles that it takes in order to create an abrasion among the surface of your fabric, you're going to want to make sure that your counter is set to 0. Then you're going to press start. This will cause the rubber diaphragm to move back and forth along the abrader, which is the sandpaper. Then, as I mentioned before, if there is a abrasion on the surface of your fabric, it'll automatically stop. Once you are at the number of cycles, however, you're just going to press stop. Then you're going to lift up your top plate and take off your weight. Then you're going to release the air pressure within the inflated diaphragm. You want to make sure you do that before you remove anything. So you're going to unlock it and turn it down until it's at 0. Then you're going to want to make sure that it's completely released. Then you're going to take your pin again and unscrew the head. Then you're going to take your specimen and you're going to use a 5-point visual rating scale. 1 being a severe change in color with more than 2 threads broken, or 5, which would be no or essentially no luster, color, or fabric structure, or anywhere in between there depending on what visual rating you give your fabric. In addition, you're going to want to make note of the number of cycles it took on the counter in order to create the abrasion among your fabric. Then you're going to record your results as usual.